Jeez.
Oh, that sound.
What the hell's going on?
One thing.
What's that?
It's time for
Guess What Race? Now I only got one right.
Y'all excited about this? This must be good stuff.
Good shit right
It's
here.
fun.
It's good stuff.
Okay, ready? Listen to the details of the story, okay? A Cleveland woman pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter following the death of her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
During an argument, the woman sat on the man, killing him. A police scale with a 350-pound capacity wasn't enough to accurately weigh her. The man's boyfriend, with whom she has 3 children, weighed 120 pounds. Guess what race? Glasses Malone.
You said the lady weighed 120 pounds?
The man weighed 120. And the woman
And she
was
was
over
100
350. And they were in Cleveland.
Cleveland. A big woman and a little man. That person was probably going to be... And she sat on him and killed him?
Yeah.
Wow.
So she was on top.
It just screamed white person, but I'm going to go black, though.
Really? Why black? Why black?
Because it screams white person.
Got you.
But I don't know
You think I'm tricking you?
If it's a trick question.
Yeah, it's a trick question.
like
It got to
that,
be.
okay. So what's your final answer?
I'm going to go black.
You going black? Final
Yeah,
answer.
I'll
Okay.
go black.
POTUS.
I'm going to go white.
Why would you say white? Petite man?
Because I see always like a lot of, big white women with small, skinny guys.
True.
Yeah,
Or skinny black men with huge white women.
White.
Okay.
Right. So I'm going with white.
I'm
Sweetie,
going
this
with,
is your area of expertise, fat women. So what say you?
I've never been. Anyway, I'm going to go with slave owner.
Slave owner. Yeah. Oh, all right. Colonizer. Okay. That's white for you. TDP.
I'll go with Turks and Caicos.
Final answer. Everybody locked in?
Yes. Like
All right. The woman who had the killer donk was a black woman.
Oh.
Killed her man. Yes. Man.
Glasses got it right.
Glasses right off the
Wow.
bat.
Nah,
He's
it's-
1 for 1.
It screams white person, but for
Yeah,
some
I
reason
know.
it's not going to be a white person.
Gotcha.
They don't kill their husband. They just mutilate their private
That's true.
parts.
I wonder how long he was down there.
Right, yes. Okay, ready? Next one. Police in Florida said they arrested a man who maliciously molested, opened, broke, and injured and damaged and inserted his body parts into a vending machine.
Black dude.
Wait a minute, say that one more time.
Police in Florida arrested a man who maliciously molested, opened, broke, injured, and damaged his body parts while he inserted them into a machine, a vending machine. Sorry, I messed that
Into
up
the
a bit.
nickel slot.
He molested a vending machine. He put his body part in the vending
Say
machine.
what he did. He put his
Molested
dick
him.
in the
He put his dick in the machine.
machine.
Okay. The police department said the man denied assaulting the vending machine until the police showed him the surveillance video footage after his
See where you
arrest.
jack off right here on the Pepsi?
Officers said the man admitted to breaking into the vending machine and taking $10 worth of coins as well as 2 bags of Funyuns.
White person.
Wow.
I said Funyuns. Okay.
I'm going to go with white person. Black people never admit nothing.
Hysterical. Even when we see it. That ain't me.
He was taken into custody on burglary.
Yeah.
It's a V in there
Yeah,
somewhere.
the Q is silent.
For 2 violations of his probation. So he was already on probation.
For the same thing.
He was ordered held without bail. Guess what race?
You know what? The no bail part definitely screams African American.
It does, doesn't it?
But it's gonna be a white person. I'm gonna just rock with the fact black people, we don't admit to nothing. We plead no contest. We don't actually ever.
Us, that ain't guilty at all.
I know
I
it's-
said no
He said
contest.
he actually did it and took quarter. Yeah.
Well, they showed him the video footage, but he did steal Funyuns.
Yeah, but we still wouldn't admit it. We'd be like, that ain't me.
We cannot deny the taste of those Funyuns.
Yeah.
All right.
That's true.
So
That's
you're
true.
going with.
I'm going white.
You're going white. Okay.
I'm
POTUS.
white.
I'm going to have to say white on this one, but it's funny. The chat room said, the guy said, fuck this machine.
No pun intended.
So you're going white too.
I'm going to go white.
Betraying half your people. Okay. Speedy. Funyuns.
The fact that he
Have
put
you ever
his,
done this?
his dick in the nickel coin slot got to be a white boy.
Or Asian.
The chat room
go
is
white
saying
then.
Asian.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going white.
You're going white. So white so far across the board. Oh, TDP.
I'll take Panamanian for 200.
That's a good one.
Everybody's locked in?
Could be Cubans. Yeah.
All right.
That's fucked up.
The man who injured his ding dong trying to get a ding dong is a white man named Michael Aguiar.
Yo,
Glasses
Mikey!
Malone killing it 2 for 2.
Wow.
Mikey,
That's
Wow,
crazy.
all
That's
right.
pretty good stuff.
your dick
Okay.
out the machine, punk.
Okay, ready?
Why
Third
did-
story.
Do they say why he put his penis in the machine?
No, he was just doing white
Ran
people
out of money.
shit.
It's white people.
White
shit.
people
It was
shit.
built like a
You
quarter.
know, fucking dogs, screw machines.
That's
Oh my
sad.
God.
A man is facing domestic battery charges after authorities say he gave his girlfriend a haircut while she slept. The man and his girlfriend got into an argument, causing him to leave her house. The woman told deputies around 7 a.m. the next morning she awoke in her bed finding her man shaving her head with an electric hair clipper. He used such force with the clippers that it caused a small cut on her scalp. The victim told deputies that she immediately kicked him off of her and he fled the home. Deputies say there were several sections of braided hair laying on the
that's easy.
victim's bed.
That's easy.
Guess what race?
That's easy. That's easy. Braided hair gave it away.
Glasses Malone.
I'm gonna wait. Let me think about that one because it seemed like it should be a black person.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna think about that. Give me a second.
Okay. And it's not just black and white.
Could you say that one more time? Could you read it from the top?
Okay.
Just the first few lines.
You're not trying to fuck up his record.
No, because it's like details in there that scream
Right, that's-
nigga or white person.
Or do you think there's
Gotcha.
Latinos and
Mexican,
also
yeah.
Asians?
It seemed Asian because Asians really trip hard on their girls too, but the braided hair kind of threw me off.
Right.
'Cause
But
I was thinking
nowadays, you
Asians.
never know, though.
That is true.
Yeah.
true. But
There's
read
so
the-
many things. Okay, so I will read the facts, okay? Domestic battery charge.
Oh, see,
Gave her-
that just
That's us.
So we got a charge,
That's
okay? Got into an argument. He left and then came back while she was sleeping.
So he had
7
the
a.m. in the
keys.
morning. Someone that gets up early.
Yeah. No, we don't get up early.
That's Latino,
We don't
maybe.
get up
Day labor.
screamed.
He was using an electric hair clipper as opposed to a razor. So take that into consideration.
See, that's the type exactly.
Cut on her scalp.
You know, like we don't even have that type of stuff unless it was hers for her legs or something.
Well, no, clippers though.
No, because they use razors. Yeah, that's true.
We
Who's he
use
dating,
clippers.
Monique?
Black women use clippers sometimes for their
Sure.
cubics. She kicked him off of her, so perhaps he
She's
was
strong.
She's
She's
strong.
strong.
She's a strong woman.
Yeah.
And the
He a-
braided hair laying on the bed. She probably didn't want to let it
Where
go.
was it at?
This was in. I left it out. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
New Jersey.
I think it was
That
Florida.
would have gave it away.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Mexican.
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 Mexicans. Okay. Because they braid their hair.
Mexican. Nah,
Glasses Malone.
I'm going to go. Oh,
I'm gonna wait.
Are you gonna say that? Okay. Speedy.
So I'm up. Let's go with Negroin.
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 Negroin? Okay, Negroin. From the country of
Nicaraguan.
Okay, okay. TDP.
I'm gonna go with Algerian.
Algerian. Yeah, they are feisty people. All right.
No, he's got to be black because braided hair.
Glasses Malone.
He
Will you
left.
keep your record intact?
Nah, I'm
Oh,
gonna lose
really?
this one because it's just too much good stuff going on. It's too much like contradictions. And you don't have a place, you don't have a location, or you left it out purposely.
I left it up.
Yeah, it would have been
Did
Chicago.
I do that
or some
on
shit like
purpose
that.
or did I do it by accident?
Might be Florida or New Jersey, somewhere around.
Chicago.
It's on the East Coast.
Yes.
You know what?
Take
I'm gonna rock with Latino.
Latino. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that one because it just
Oh, Puerto Rican. Yeah.
the braids. It could be Puerto Rican. It could be yeah. I'm gonna try that one, but it's probably a black person.
Okay. The man who wanted to give his girl a fade was surprisingly a white man
Oh,
named David Bustos, 26 years old.
David who?
Bustos.
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 All right, good. You got
A
okay.
white boy.
Proper fade.
Yeah.
A white boy named Bustos.
Need
Yep.
some duct tape on that one.
Yeah. Okay, ready? A woman in St. Paul, Minnesota, called the police after her encounter with a man she said robbed her of her cell phone and keys and then told her, "Now I'm going to suck your feet."
White boy.
And he did. The victim said she was too shocked to do anything else, so she let him. The police commander said the attack was weird sexual behavior and that he was apprehended minutes later.
With
And the
his shoes
police
off?
dubbed him the toe licker. The man was sentenced to 5 years of probation and evaluation.
White.
Guess what race?
in St. Paul, Minnesota, he mixed, but they gonna say
They
because
gonna say
everybody
the
look
other
like
half.
Prince in St. Paul. That's
Hysterical.
That's true. That's like the nation's
What is
leading capital of mixed person.
Big Indian population out there as well.
Mulattoes.
That is
My
true.
people's Indian girl.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with white.
You're gonna go with white, okay? Glasses
Yeah.
on for white, okay? POTUS.
I'm gonna say white.
White people in the news this week. Okay, Speedy.
Clear coat.
Clear coat. Okay, whites.
White
Okay. TDP.
I'm gonna go with Eddie in Sweden.
Okay, so it's white across the board.
Right across the board.
Really? We have 21,000 live views right now? We blowing up. I need to check, niggas. Oh, sorry. T.
This is a good show. Like,
Okay.
this is already interesting. This is
Yeah.
better than regular radio.
Appreciate that, Glasses Malone. And let me adon you right now. Glasses Malone, a Reach Around Radio legend.
Yes. Okay, y'all ready for the
Great
answer?
word. T.
Yes.
Thank you.
The man who loves lady toes and pig feet was a black man named Carlton Jermaine Davis.
No, Carlton said ain't so.
Yes.
He mixed.
Black.
Yeah, he
Say
got
the
it.
white
mixed.
size right there.
Okay, ready for the next one.
But how do you go to jail if she lets you,
She was scared. It's like he raped her toes with his
Ah.
mouth.
but she took her socks off?
What was she wearing? I know.
Brother
All right.
did that?
A brother did that. Okay.
But I'm telling you, they mix down there. You know, when you get mixed, you get all that stuff going on. inside of
Speak
there.
on it there, Claudia.
Otis. Speedy, this one was inspired by you.
Ain't that a pig?
Never mock a man's size.
Mm.
Small penis jokes leads to TSA airport assaults.
White person.
Police in
Easier
Florida
glasses.
say police in Florida say a 44-year-old man assaulted a coworker after enduring a year of insults aimed at the size of his penis.
So she saw it. Okay, cool.
This is what happens.
Mm-hmm.
The man is a security screener at the Miami International Airport.
Why don't you cut it short?
And last year, he walked through the full body scanner, the kind where screeners see everything,
Hilarious.
including the size of your genitals. Police say a coworker saw the man's penis and mocked him over it for a full year,
Little homie.
leading up to this week's assaults. Ironically, police say the man got tired of being clowned for his teeny peeny and beat up the coworker with a baton, and we all know what those are shaped like. Guess what race?
That's
Miami.
That's a real dick pic.
So we got Miami, worked in the airport. It's a lot of contradicting here. You know, Miami's a lot of Latinos.
It's an easy one.
Airport's always black people.
It's an easy
But
one.
small penis, I would go with
Yes,
white or
it's easy.
Asian. There's a lot of things here.
TSA screams Asian too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
an easy one right here.
Glasses Malone.
With a baton Latino.
Ah, POTUS.
Yeah, no. That's a white person.
That's a white person,
That's
huh?
a white person.
Okay.
Final answer?
Final? Locked in?
Locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that one because strictly because the baton, I don't know, man. That's kind of scary. That's a lot of stuff going on
But
right there.
the airport in Miami kind of is.
But TSA, you know, that's like it scream Asian. But like I've been there a lot of times. You don't really see a lot of Asian people working there. It is a lot of Latino. Oh man, it's a brother.
Glasses Malone, ain't no prizes
you
for this shit.
He keeps
Glasses Malone trying to win.
he keeps scratching out his
No,
hands.
because this is like really
This is like Who
interesting.
Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah.
No, you know, it's really interesting to think about this. And when you start thinking about it, it's like, you know,
you try
this
to
is
think.
like stereotyping, like really good. So you just want to be kind of think
I
you
got
have
it.
an idea.
I got it.
I'm gonna go brother.
You gonna go bar? Okay.
Final answer?
Black man locked
Yeah,
in.
like
I'm going to go Cuban.
Cuban. There is a great Cuban restaurant in that airport. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm gonna go Suzuki.
That's a Jeep.
That's Asian.
That's Asian.
Suzuki?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just pray for your children that you teach at home. TDP.
I'm going to go New Zealander for 100.
Okay. Everybody's locked in.
We locked in.
Yep. You guessed it. It's a Cracker Spaniel, a white man named Rolando Negrin. Negrin, actually. White man. It was a white man.
Yeah.
Small penis.
That's true.
Got angry
He
issues.
dealt with it for a year though. You
The Billy
imagine?
Club should have
He
gave
did
it
deal
away.
with it.
Right,
Ain't no black
Yes.
person finna pick up no Billy Club.
This has been another edition of
Guess What Race?
Yeah.
Great job, CJ.
Thank you. You know what, Glasses? You did an amazing job
You
because
did.
they've been stumped every single week. Like I think probably one or two people got a couple right. Like
This is really good stuff.
You like it?
That's deep. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I like that.
because you have to think about sometimes the stereotypes, and we just realize how racist we all really are.
Oh yeah, hands down. I'm racist outright though. Everybody know that.
And you're our first celebrity to play the game with us. So.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Reach
appreciate
around
it.
first.
21,000 people watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wanna
Where do you find that number?
He just wrote it. My son just wrote that. He ain't.
Really?
Donald,
that could mean I don't know shit.
Donald put the comma in the wrong
In,
place. 212 people.
Yeah,
watching.
0.5.
that it?
Next Wednesday's my birthday. Oh,
What the hell is that?
what is that?
Oh, that sound can only mean one thing.
What's that?
It's time for
Guess What
Race? I'm gonna say the guy
Alright.
blowing the horn is white. No? Okay.
Fellas, join in. I'm gonna read some news stories.
Tell them who
and-
we got in the house. Just in case they just tuned in.
Yeah, we had
They're Claudia's
David
guest.
and Abe, right?
And David are here.
Guys with the tight shirts.
Speedy.
It's fitted.
Anyways,
Snuggle fit.
they're gonna play along with us on Guess
I like
What
the
Race.
way it is.
I'm gonna
Alright.
read 5 news stories
It's
and then.
motivation.
Wait, you like the way what?
It's going to be motivation for me to get the shirt to fit right.
Okay,
Okay,
wait,
Speedy.
that didn't come out right, Speedy.
Yeah, no,
We're
really.
trying to protect you.
That's what she said.
Okay, so I'm gonna read the stories and we're gonna go to you and see if you can guess what race the person was. Okay. All right, ready?
All right, here we go.
I like when we had music underneath these things earlier.
Put a little
Is that your
music.
cue?
A little music.
A little something, a little instrumental or something.
DJ Clearcoat?
There
Did
we
you get
go,
it?
there we
There
go.
you go.
Okay. A man stole a parrot and then sold it to a pet shop. But it just so happened that it's a small world after all. The parrot's original owner came to the same exact pet shop, and the parrot recognized its owner and began shouting his owner's name. Once Once the bird started talking, they went back to the records and saw where the bird came from, and they were able to arrest the man that dropped off the bird. The pet shop's owner had not been able to make the bird talk, so it was all quite shocking when he started singing. Police quickly located the burglar and arrested him for theft, while the happy relationship between the parrot and his owner resumed.
Wait a minute. So he was towed on by a stool pigeon.
Guess what race? Brothers?
I would guess Jamaican.
Hysterical.
Sound like a TDP answer.
Jamaican, okay.
Teach him some lyrics, and I don't know.
Okay, so
Made
Jamaican.
him feel a little bit good sometimes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you're going with Jamaican. What are you going with?
I was gonna say Cuban.
Cuban. Why Cuban?
Just tropical beaches.
Why would you have a parrot? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you know.
Makes sense.
POTUS?
Left.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go with the chat room, and this is what the chat room
What is
says.
it?
The owners are white,
Yeah.
and the robber is black.
Oh,
Wow.
damn. You can't get any love. Damn.
Speedy.
Speedy?
Yeah, that sounds like what some of brother do. Steal the bird.
But would brother be scared to hold the bird, though?
That's why he's taking it to the bird, because he know to at least take it to the bird place.
The bird
sell
place?
it to sell it to the bird place. Because he done been in the mall a few times, seen the birds, went, nigga, if I ever steal a bird, I'm gonna bring it back here.
He sold it to the pet shop after he stole it. That's real raggedy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a brother.
Brother, okay. TDP, what say you?
I'm gonna go with Cameroonians.
Cameroonian. Oh, the nation of Cameroon. Okay. That's a good one.
in your mouth.
All right. Everybody's locked in?
Locked and loaded.
Okay. The man who tried to flip a bird was an Asian man named Hu Fang.
Oh,
Who thought?
It happened in Beijing, actually.
we all lost
Who
that
thought
one.
that?
No. Isn't that crazy?
Bird toed on him. That's
All
fucking
right.
hilarious.
The bird started yelling.
So wait a minute though. If he's from there, then he's speaking the bird speaking Japanese.
Cantonese, or what would you
It
say,
was-
Japan
yeah.
or China?
Birdadese.
It was what?
Birdadese.
It was Chinese.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a bird. So
Yeah.
it's birdadese.
Yeah, Speedy. Okay. All right, Speedy.
Your bird is talking.
When you find yourself suffering an erection that lasts more than 4 hours, you should
Warranty?
call your doctor, not rob your father. A New York man who suffered from a condition called priapism, something like that, which causes
wait, what is it at?
Pretty
What is
prison.
priapism,
I went to that school.
which causes painful erections that can last for hours, was busted for allegedly trying to steal money from his father to buy painkillers to grant him relief. The man was so hard up for drugs
You think?
that he broke into his dad's place. His dad had a store in New York. He pulled a knife out and said, "I want out, and I want money. I want out of this pain." His father stood firm, however, and called the cops and had his son arrested on charges of burglary, attempted robbery, and his son was arrested.
This is easy.
The father said, "My son has a very rare disease,
Mm.
which means he gets an erection that lasts 5 or 6 hours and is very painful." The father said his son has suffered for many years. Guess what race?
This is easy.
I said I'd be a poor little white boy right there. his dad got money. He wants money and get out the business, and he's out.
Okay.
I would pick the same answer from the last one. I'd say Asian. For one, but because maybe he needed that, and definitely his father has money as well. So
Right.
it's the same thing.
It's a good
He's
one.
on the hustle, need to get it.
Okay.
So Asian, your final answer?
Asian.
Asian final.
Okay.
POTUS?
Yeah.
Poet.
I'm going to the chat room. They said Lewis Dix.
Hysterical. Suck a lot of.
No, I'm gonna say Caucasian.
Caucasian. Okay. Speedy.
I'm going to say slave owner.
Slave owner. Colonizer.
Hey,
Okay.
colonizer.
White man. Okay. TDP.
I'm gonna go with Trinidad and Tobagoans.
Okay. Yeah, they are crafty people. Okay. Well, seems like it's pretty obvious. It was a white man named David Miller and his father. Yes, New York.
Because the story gave away. The giveaway was he owned a store in New York. Stay
Black
focused,
people don't own places.
Probably
Not in New York.
Probably was Italian.
Yeah, it was Italian.
Not in New York.
Okay, ready? Next
Yes.
one. All right. A taxi driver allegedly locked a female passenger in the trunk for
Jamaican.
5 hours
Oh my bad.
after a dispute over a fare turned ugly. The 32-year-old passenger was traveling home when she accused the driver of taking a long route to increase the fare. The driver, 57 years old, attacked the woman, punching her in the face, pushed her inside the trunk. He parked the vehicle outside his own house and left the passenger trapped inside. The woman called the police on her cell
That's not
phone
funny.
and was freed 5 hours later when passerbys heard her cries for help coming from the back of the vehicle. The driver was detained Monday after a manhunt. The passenger was hospitalized, suffering from shock and severe bruising on her arms and legs. Guess what race?
Palestinian. He gets shit done himself.
Hysterical.
That Palestinian. I was gonna say tick tick boom.
I was gonna say backpack, so it's the same.
Wow, Palestinians getting the bad rap. Okay. Is that okay?
Which city you said? New York.
I can't
think
give
she
the
did.
city.
Oh, can't give the city.
Yeah, we'll give it away.
Did you guys? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say African.
Isn't that crazy? Like he locked her inside of his car in front of his own house and went inside and chilled out for a while.
African.
That's African. Huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with Tick Tick Boom. Backpack. Yeah, I'm gonna stay right there.
Tick, tick,
Tick
boom.
Head
tick
wrap.
tick boom.
Head wrap.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay there.
All right. TDP.
I'm gonna go with Bahrainian.
Bahrainian. Yeah.
I'll
Where's
go
that
Bahrainian.
located?
In
That's
Bahrain.
in, Middle East.
Okay.
She said Bahrainia. Put an A on the back.
And the people are Bahrainians.
Yins.
You guys are all wrong.
What? The-
It was actually a German man.
German.
Those Germans. They like
Farfenuggen.
put people in trunks.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, they put him in the Volkswagen.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good one.
that one caught me.
Yeah, that one.
I was
Okay.
gonna tick tick boom. Hey, you
Okay.
got have me money.
Next one. You know your date's gone wrong when you end up as the getaway driver in a robbery. This is what happened after this woman decided to hook up with a man she met on Facebook. She thought he was going to wine her and dine her, but he had other plans. At the start of the date, he asked her to drive him to a nearby betting shop. She agreed to wait in the car. Minutes later, he ran out with a knife in one hand and a bag of money in the other. Once in the car, he screamed,
Drive, bitch, drive!
yeah, he did. He ordered the woman to go back to his house, where he tried to tie her up inside.
What?
At this point, she decided the date was over. The police thought so too and swooped on the house and arrested them both. She spent the rest of the evening in a police cell, and she was set free only after the man admitted he acted alone. The woman said it was a day from hell. She also
To say
said,
the least.
I thought I'd end the night in the man's arms. Instead, he landed in the long arms of the law. Guess what race?
This
You guys?
brothers.
I was thinking Puerto Rican. That's aggressive right there.
Puerto Ricans were 15.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say the guy's definitely either Puerto Rican or black, and the girl's white.
Okay.
Only white girls gonna date somebody on Facebook or MySpace dating. Well, that don't happen.
Hysterical.
You only once.
You did it.
Pam.
I'm gonna say I want to say Latino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
I'm
very
gonna go-
passionate,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
I'm gonna go with Latino.
That covered it.
Scarface.
I'ma go because he had a knife.
Latino.
Yeah, and he had the bag of money, and he screamed,
God, bitch, drive.
Puerto Rican.
You say Puerto Rican as
Puerto
well?
Rico.
Okay. Okay. Puerto
Yeah,
Rican.
Javier.
Javier.
Go
Okay.
with Javier.
TDP.
I'm gonna go with Taiwanese for 200.
Oh, he would have been on a bike then. They ride bikes.
You guys are all wrong again.
What the fuck out of here?
This week is white people messing up week. It's white folks.
Huh?
White
Wow.
people.
European,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
What? He robbed? White folks don't rob.
Yes, they do. What are you? Are
Not
you
with a
kidding?
knife. They got pistols. They got
Let me
guns.
tell you, when I was looking up the crimes, there was so many crazy white people crimes. I had to like really look for like other.
That's your half. That's your other half.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's why
Ready?
you wrote the story.
Okay.
Okay. Next one.
I gotta get one right.
You do. I don't know about that, TDP. Okay.
Dang. That is a scream.
If you thought your significant other was needy, at least he or she is not staging a kidnapping in order to get attention. This woman was arrested yesterday after leading her boyfriend, family, and police on a search for her while she was supposed to have been captive. Turns out she just needed attention.
Claudia Jordan? Oh, I'm sorry.
Her and her boyfriend got into an argument,
Mm-hmm.
and she was irate that her man seemed to only care about their son. That's when she left the family's home near Liberty City and didn't return.
Miami.
A text was sent to her boyfriend, and she claimed two men wearing ski masks had randomly snatched her and threw into the back of a white panel van. She claimed she didn't know where they were because the men had been driving around in circles. Her boyfriend called the cops. Miami police began distributing flyers and conducting interviews with family members. The investigation was in full force when they got a call from her. She finally admitted that she was lying and she was trying to get attention.
My bad.
So she did all this. She staged her own kidnapping just to get attention from a boyfriend who was only paying attention to their son. Guess what race?
Brothers?
Asian.
Brothers.
Asian.
I think a white dude right there.
A white girl?
White
Cares
girl.
about
White
his air
girl,
right
it's a
away.
chick.
It's a girl.
Wait, the man?
It was
Or
a
the
girl
wife?
that staged her own
She-
kidnapping,
she
so her
acted.
boyfriend would.
I was
her.
thinking about the boy. Oh, I'm thinking.
Asian.
The
chick.
girlfriend staged a fake kidnapping. What race?
Oh. Let me pass on that one. I was thinking the man.
Okay, go ahead.
Asian.
He's an Asian.
Asian, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, Asian.
P-Dog?
I'm gonna say black. And then the chat room says Shanae Hall.
Hysterical.
Okay, go
Inside
ahead.
joke there. I'm going to go Peggy Sue.
Peggy Sue, white
Peggy
lady.
Sue.
Okay. TDP.
I'm gonna go Fijians.
It's a very peaceful island. You think they do all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Is that
can come
your
over here
final
and
answer?
act crazy.
I'm gonna go with the white lady also.
Yeah.
You say white lady?
Fiji.
It does sound like a white lady thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, a black man kidnapped me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Had a ski mask in the panel van because everybody knows
Panel van, yeah.
if you're going to kidnap somebody, you put them in a panel van.
Well, the person who lied about their kidnapping and was really just, star for attention was a 21-year-old black woman named Rochelle Leanne Barfield.
What the
I got
hell?
that
Black
one right.
woman.
I got it right.
Liberty
I got it
City.
right, too.
I thought Liberty City would give it a what?
Oh, Liberty
She was
City.
mixed.
Black people in Fiji.
She was mixed with white.
Yeah, she was light skinned.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling it was a black chick because I've heard like stories of not just sisters. This is general, but just being jealous over the baby.
She did say
I think
Liberty
that
City.
Kind of,
Liberty City, I thought would give it away.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
what.
a lot of blacks in
That's where
Liberty?
Luca is from.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
This has been another edition of
Guess What Race.
Fun
Thank you,
time.
brothers, for
Thank you
playing.
yeah.
Thank
And I
you.
got one
you,
right.
guys.
You like that game?
Yeah, that's
Phone-
hilarious.
we-
What the hell?
That sound can only
That's
mean.
Well, that one too.
That sound can only mean one thing.
What's that, Claudia?
Who is that?
It's time for.
We know.
Guess
that.
that race.
Oh man, I thought it was always a cue.
If you do this shit the night before.
Shout out to rehearsal.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yes.
You think?
This one's a double whammy. There's two races involved. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ready? Two deaf men were stabbed when another patron at a bar mistook their sign language for gang signs.
Oh gosh.
Hey, nigga, they set tripping. Who? Dude with the glasses on.
He a blood and a crip.
He got the white and red cane. That's what's happening.
The victim, who is deaf and mute,
Oh my.
and three others,
Didn't see that one
including
coming.
a bouncer, are recovering in a hospital from non-fatal wounds suffered at a bar and grill where the victim and his friends were celebrating a birthday in silence.
Yeah, no DJ.
Save money with DJs. Police say a woman became angry when she thought the victim and all of his deaf friends were throwing gang signs at her. The 45-year-old confronted the deaf and mute guys
How
and
old is
made
she?
45 years old.
Come on.
Confronted the deaf and mute guys and made gang signs to them. Witnesses said the deaf guy motioned for the aggressive woman to leave them alone. Instead, the woman left and then shortly returned to the bar with a juvenile and a 19-year-old man who was accused of pulling out a knife and stabbing the deaf men. In the ensuing melee, the deaf men suffered stab wounds to the torso and back, and the intervening bouncer was struck in the head with a bottle. The two
It's so wrong.
were taken into custody and charged with assault with a deadly weapon.
So we're guessing
Guess what race?
the two people that did the stabbing.
Well, you can guess the victims and the
Okay.
stabbers.
Porters?
I'm gonna say Caucasian.
You think everyone's Caucasian?
I think
There's a woman, and she got two boys that come back with her, and then there's the victims.
I'm gonna say the victims were white,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna say everybody was white.
Everybody's white.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody's white. Okay. Speedy.
The ones doing the stabbing was Leroy and DeAndre.
So the stabbers were black,
And the people that got stabbed were Brad and Peter.
white. So you think that the white people said, man, they throwing, no, the black people said, man, they throwing gang signs.
Mm-hmm.
And the black people went and stabbed the deaf.
We the
poor
only one
white-
would lead the bar and go get some old people
Okay.
to rile them up.
Okay. Okay. That's all right, good answer. TDP.
I'm gonna go with Vietnamese.
Vietnamese. The Vietnamese gang.
Right.
Okay. They were
They're very
throwing
strong.
V's and Z's and shit, right?
These and these.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Hilarious. Well, you guys are all wrong.
What? Get the fuck out of here.
The 45-year-old woman named Barbara Lee was a white woman that got
Mm.
gangster and went and got a 19-year-old Latino man named Marco Ibanez, and the victims were two black guys.
Oh wow.
Two deaf. So they're deaf and they're black, and now they're stabbed up and victimized in the hospital.
Oh my
European.
God. I was
Yeah.
partially right.
They didn't
with
see it
the
coming?
white lady.
You ain't hear it coming
They didn't
either.
hear it Okay.
That's fucked up.
A newlywed didn't exactly get what he expected on his wedding night. What he did receive was a night in jail and a mugshot.
And they gonna wake that nigga.
A man allegedly became enraged at the wedding reception after he felt one of the groomsmen was dirty dancing with his bride, Kamala. According to a police report, the man seemed very intoxicated when police arrived at his wedding. Witnesses say the groom approached and pushed the victim so hard that the man lost his balance and knocked over a ceramic column near where an off-duty police officer was sitting on a stool. That's when things went from bad to worse.
You know,
According to the
That
Fox
happens.
News, the fight continued as the off-duty officer called for backup. The man was eventually subdued, but not before first assaulting the officer. Some witnesses say the police used too much force. The police officer completely lost it and went berserk. The man was charged with a bunch of offenses, including criminal mischief, 2 counts of assault on an officer, and disorderly conduct. He did not get to consummate his marriage that night, and instead he spent the night in jail. Guess
And
what
they gonna
race?
wake that nigga.
Yeah, it happens in jail.
I'm gonna say Latino.
Latino? Why would you say that? Very emotional wedding.
Kamala, the name.
Yeah.
And
Sounds black.
and the fact that they were drunk before the ceremony even started. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I like that. I'm gonna go Juan Sanchez.
Latino.
Mhm.
Okay. TDP. What say you?
I'll take Norwegians for 200.
Norwegians. Well, the one who came closest without going over was. Oh wait, I'm sorry. The man who got an ass kicking instead of some ass was a 31-year-old white man named John Twombly. White man
European.
went nuts. His boy dirty dancing on his bitch.
Colonizer.
Colonizers. I'm telling you, most of these crimes are white people. They like.
They get it in.
It's hard for me
And
to
was
find.
What's his wife's name?
The wife, Mrs. Tomley.
You think?
Makes
Okay.
sense.
Turns out you don't need a withdrawal slip to rob a bank. Police say a man recently attempted to rob a central Pennsylvania bank but only after providing tellers with 2 forms of ID necessary to open an account. According to the police, the suspect entered the bank and told bank employees he was interested in opening an account. Police say the man attempted to rob the bank after telling employees he wanted to open an account, which required him showing 2 forms of ID. After he gave his ID, the suspect had a change of heart and announced, "Nah, I'm going to rob the bank instead." The suspect ran off with a small bundle of cash. Then the tellers contacted the police with what must have been the most accurate suspect description of all time. The man hit a vehicle during his getaway, but it wasn't until later that day in a second car accident that led state troopers to arrest the bank robber when they thought he was just driving drunk.
He had no license.
The background check revealed the bank robbery warrants, prompting state troopers to recover the stolen money. He was charged with theft and with drunk driving.
So he didn't get to spend the money at all?
Race.
Oh, yeah, this is easy.
Guess what race?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with black on that one.
Black, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Think it's a dumb crime? Saying we're all stupid? You do stupid shit?
No, I
Never
want
seen
to
it.
say that.
Puerto Ricans do violence, then we do dumb? You know what I'm saying? Huh? What is this? Huh? Come on.
I
White
hate to-
side
I
out
hate to
there.
even say it's a black person, but I think so.
You going with Negroid. Okay. Speedy.
Leroy Jackson.
Leroy Jackson, black. Teeter.
I'm gonna go with Serbanese.
Serbanese.
Where's that located?
Violent people.
That's in
Serbia.
the, thank you. It's in the Middle East.
Hey, I thought he was going to say Serbanese.
Okay. Everybody locked in?
Locked in.
Serbanese locked in.
The man who said, "Give me my money," was a 35-year-old black man named
Told you.
Daniel Rain.
Leroy.
A lot of black people seem to provide or lose their ID when they're attempting to rob.
Oh, yeah.
We need to probably get that.
I know a gang of dudes broke into people's house and the wallet fell out. They had to put the rape down, the whole 9, wallet on the floor.
Wow.
Somebody
Okay.
told on me, pimp.
Okay. If you are what you eat, then this alleged burglar is a rare bird. According to police in Texas, a Dallas resident left her apartment to take her daughter to school and left frozen chicken in her kitchen sink to thaw. When she returned around 7:45 a.m., she noticed the window to her bathroom was broken. Once I opened the door, I saw the guy sitting in the sink, fully naked, eating the raw chicken.
Oh my God.
The in-the-buff burglar
Oh,
allegedly
gosh.
ignored shouts from the woman to get out of her apartment and continued chowing down on the bird. When the frantic woman ran outside to call for help, the man reportedly locked her out of her own house. According to investigators,
I ain't finished.
hand me that breast. According to investigators, when police arrived on the scene, they were forced to kick in the door and had to use force to subdue the suspect.
And they gonna rape that nigga.
The naked mama.
The suspect refused to follow instructions, so they tased him. The suspect was apprehended. An ambulance was called in to treat him because he had several cuts he sustained when crawling through the broken glass window.
He was eating chicken nuggets.
Naked in the kitchen sink, eating raw, not fried chicken. Guess what race?
I'm gonna say white with that one.
Why? Because the chicken's raw.
The chicken's raw. He's naked in the sink, and yeah, I'm gonna say white on
White.
that one.
Okay.
White.
Speedy.
I'm going to say Ricky Ricardo Sanchez.
Okay. Latino. Okay.
Because they do chickens.
They do.
They do chickens. They cut them up and sacrifice
Have them in the yard.
Yeah.
Roosters in the morning.
TDP.
Ricky Ricardo.
I'm gonna go with Ukrainian.
Ukrainian.
Where's that located?
That's in Russia.
Just want to call you out on your.
I know.
And what'd you say, POTUS? You said white.
I
so
said
white,
white,
Latino,
yeah.
Ukrainian. Okay. All wrong. Sometimes it's obvious. Naked and eating chicken and risking life and limb for some chicken. Of course, it was a black man named Michael Cooks.
Oh, he had to be
Damn,
on
Mike.
fucking Sherm.
Fuck.
He was
Wow.
on Sherm.
Why do you have to take his clothes off to eat the chicken?
I don't know. All right, we have-
Because when people take Sherm, for some reason, they always end up naked. I don't know what it is, but
okay. I'm mad you know
It's
that.
an animal tranquilizer.
if he was white, it would have been crystal meth.
Wow.
Okay.
It would have been potato salad.
Couple more left. A man who tried a beauty treatment for bathing with live eels was left in agony when one
White.
slipped up his penis.
DJ always. Oh, halfway right.
He had been bathing with eels. He had been told bathing with eels would make him look years younger because they nibbled off layers of dead skin. So he bought 10 from the local market and decided to give it a try at home. But one of the 6-inch long eels squirmed up his urethra and swam right into his bladder. Slippery and disappeared
He was counting
back
1,
into
He
2,
his
raped that nigga.
Yeah, the eel. What did the eel say to him?
A nigga rape that nigga.
the eel
He was counting eels. 1, 2, one's missing.
Oh my god.
That's terrible.
Why's my weenie wiggling? So he tried to grab the eel, but it was too slippery and it went back up the shaft.
Oh my god.
Initially, he was too embarrassed to seek help, but when the eel didn't reappear naturally, he finally went to the hospital. Doctors used an ultrascan to locate the eel in the man's bladder and operated to move it. Guess what race?
He's white.
Why is he white?
Because I find that white men are more concerned about their looks and aging than black men do.
Black
Most
men just let it all go
Because
out.
black men don't. Black men age gracefully.
Yes, thank you.
So.
Yeah, white people age like bananas. Look here. I'm going to say Peter Brady.
Peter Brady, white man.
Mm-hmm.
Teeter, I think you can get this one.
I'm gonna go with Brazilian.
And that's located
South
Brazil,
America.
you-
God,
South America.
Sweetie, please, Jesus Christ.
South America, Argentina, yeah. South America.
Everybody here is wrong.
No way.
Asian?
The man who had some sushi in his nutsack was a 56-year-old Chinese man named Vang Zhangnan.
What's his name?
Vang Zhangnan.
One more time.
Vang Zhangnan.
And you know what? You know what happened to Vang Zhang Yang? What they did to him?
What they do?
A nigga rape that nigga.
The eels raped him.
I got one last one.
Oh my god.
But I would think that like they would be more open to have like eels and stuff like that around them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's a delicacy over there.
But Asians also age gracefully
They
too.
do too.
Yeah.
Well, apparently not this one.
Yeah. Okay. A pregnant woman lied to police that she was about to give birth to get out of a speeding ticket.
Black.
You would know.
Final answer?
Right.
Lucretia.
Police were getting ready to lay spikes in the road to stop a Honda Civic speeding at more than 90 miles per hour on the highway. Want to reconsider that?
Yeah, really.
When the man driving eventually pulled over, he told police his friend was about to bring a new life into the world. The pregnant woman played the part, sitting with her feet apart on the dashboard, complaining she was, about to pop, while the fake expectant father rode in the back seat holding her hand. The police called for an ambulance and blocked off the road as the paramedics arrived. Police later on called the hospital to check on the patient, but discovered that the patient woman discharged herself and they suspect she was out at the club. I think she's tried using her pregnancy to put up a smokescreen to give some justification for the driver's action. It's not just a waste of our time, but a waste of time of the ambulance staff helping people who could really use our help. Cops later busted the 23-year-old driver for dangerous driving. Guess what race?
Okay, was she really pregnant though?
Yeah, she's pregnant.
Oh, okay.
Just wasn't due.
I'm gonna say black.
I'm going to go with Shaniqua Williams.
Black, huh? Why do you guys say black?
It's probably Latino. Can I take mine back and say Latino?
You can.
Latino.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Okay.
Shaniqua Williams.
Why do you say that, Speedy?
Honda Civic.
So all the dumb crimes I see.
Yeah.
Black people?
Honda Civic.
But that's like an
And
Asian.
thinking they can go 90.
Honda's like more Asian, I think. Puerto Rican.
Yeah, but they already had their weenie wiggle already.
Okay.
Cool.
TDP.
I'm gonna go with Mongolianese
And that's located.
Oh my God.
in
Speedy.
Mongolia.
Again, no one got this one.
What the fuck out of
No
here?
one got it. The lady who lied about her water breaking was a white woman from New Zealand.
Oh,
I wanted you to get that one too.
You would have said
But that's right off the
Zealand,
coast of Australia.
Yeah, not too far.
Yeah, punk.
Okay,
Was that 5?
That was
And this
12 to
has
be
been
exact.
another edition of
Guess what race?
And they gonna rape that nigga.
Oh shit.
Are we all ready?
that?
What the hell is that?
Well, that sound can only mean one thing.
And what's that?
Time for our game show. It's called
Guess what race?
Today, Dub C will sit in with us.
Cinnamon?
Try to guess. I'm gonna read a news story,
Dub C with cinnamon?
and you try to figure out what race the person is in the story. Okay?
What
All right.
race? What?
What race the person is.
She's gonna give the story and you
Okay.
gotta guess.
All right, Speedy, pay attention to this one.
To the bitch.
No matter how old you
Nigga
are,
black.
That's how you do it, Dub.
the story happened in Florida, okay? No matter how old you are, there's no horseplay allowed on the beach. Police arrested a Florida man after he allegedly harassed a woman with a pool noodle before punching her in the face. The Florida man is accused of attacking the woman after she threw his watermelon into the
That's an easy
ocean.
one. That's easy.
According to police reports, the woman noticed a watermelon that was carved into the shape of a head resting on the sand. The seemingly abandoned melon was attracting insects, so the woman picked it up, thinking the melon would eventually disintegrate, and disposed of it into the ocean. The man, however, got really pissed. He retrieved his watermelon out of the ocean, put it back on the beach, only to have it thrown in the water again. And that's when the man used the noodle, beat the woman down. The man approached the woman with his swim noodle full of water, dumped the water on her as she was sitting on her towel, according to police. He then punched her in the cheek and told her that a watermelon was very important to him and that she should never touch a man's watermelon.
I got it.
Guess what race?
On you, Dub.
First of all, I'm gonna go against the grain. See, I know everybody think when they say watermelon, the black man, but a swim noodle. First of all, what the hell is a swim noodle?
What's a swim noodle?
I don't know too
It's
many.
one of those round, those noodle-looking things that people
Like a little floaty.
float on when they're in the water. It's like a tube, a long tube.
It's the new ones.
Ain't no
And you
niggas
can
carrying
bop
no swim
somebody.
noodle. At least
Hey,
no-
let me
I
get a
don't
swim
know.
noodle cut and
I don't- yeah.
That's
I
all
don't
in the
know
valley,
niggas with no
Dub. That's all in the
swim-
valley.
You know, I mean, so look, so I'm gonna race the black race, and then got mad because this nigga was carving faces and shit inside of a watermelon. First of all, you gotta say, who gonna take the time to be on the beach carving some motherfucking? And
Dub was breaking it down.
I know, I'm just saying, somebody black ain't gonna fuck over the watermelon like that, right?
That is true.
I can't even give my answer now. You didn't,
I mean,
you
am
didn't
I
preach the
lying?
real.
You're not lying. You're not lying.
Plus there wasn't no chicken with that motherfucker. No Marlon. Now I'm teasing, but on the real, I'm gonna go with motherfuckers like to carve shit up and everything. I gotta be. I'm gonna go white.
White?
Yeah, that was
White,
white.
final answer?
Final answer, white?
White.
Okay,
Yeah, final answer,
white locked in. Okay. POTUS?
I'm gonna say. Did you say where it was?
Florida.
I'm gonna go with dang. I want to say Jamaican.
Jamaican. Now, why? Interesting choice.
Because there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there, and they do stuff like that on the beach. They sell coconuts and watermelon.
Wait. You talking like you speaking from experience?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to the beaches
Then
of Miami.
They do not bananas, but coconuts.
Coconuts.
So you're saying that Jamaicans, they have a love of carving things.
Hey, they got skills.
Them niggas good with the machetes though.
That's true.
Jamaican final answer?
Jamaican final answer.
Final answer.
I'm
Speedy.
gonna go with I'm gonna go against Dub on this one. I'm gonna stay with Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy
Okay,
Jenkins.
Leroy, okay.
All right.
Stay with Leroy. He
Teeter.
did it.
I'm gonna go with Tony Montana.
Tony Montana.
I thought about
Cuban.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with
Cuban.
Tony Montana.
What about you? Who you rolling with?
Oh, I can't because I
She's
know
the
I
host.
was there. I wish I could
Oh,
play.
she see the answer. Huh?
Yeah. But I yeah.
It's her test.
Okay. The man who was wait, what?
You're right.
Okay, sorry. The man who was a woman beater but a watermelon lover was a 68-year-old white man named
Oh.
Carl Ludwig Eichner.
Dub, see?
I think that's German, actually. Yes,
Hey.
yes,
Hey,
yes.
there we
Good
go.
job.
What the fuck?
Dub got
Carl, come
I
in
like
and just
that.
Got lucky.
get 'em
Shit.
all.
Got lucky.
I should have known that noodle. What is it called again?
A noodle.
Swim noodle.
Swim
Swim
noodle.
noodle.
I've
Man,
never. I
ain't
don't even know what that
ain't
is.
nobody with no kind of
That's
swag.
where
Ain't nobody
Dub
no
got.
kinda-
That's where Dub got his
said
main
no.
clue.
Ain't
See,
nobody
you
with
know.
no
First of
kind of
all,
nobody no
swim
kind of
noodle.
swag gonna
Right.
be walking around no goddamn swim noodle.
Yeah, black folks ain't gonna fuck up no watermelon for no bullshit.
Okay, ready for the
It
next?
ain't no motherfucker gonna be carving
Yeah.
it and shit.
That's
you
true.
know?
We're not gonna waste melons
No.
like that.
Nah.
Okay, next story. Again in Florida.
Mm.
A Florida man shouted obscenities at officers that interrupted him as he tried to pull out one of his own teeth, and he was charged with breach of the peace. Police said they responded after his wife called 911 and said her husband was drunk in his garage attempting to remove a tooth with a pair of pliers. The police say they observed him attempting to extract his tooth, and there was vomit on the floor from his attempts. The man who admitted to being drunk allegedly began cursing loudly when the officers questioned him and refused their request for him to calm down. He was arrested for breach of peace. Guess what race?
White.
Dub C. Going with white.
I'm gonna go with white because niggas know when the police come.
Get it together.
Yeah, we get together. Plus, we don't. If we gonna try to pull our teeth out or some shit like that, for whatever crazy reason, we ain't gonna do it with no goddamn pliers. I'm just real.
String
You know,
in the door.
string, slam the
String in the
door.
door.
Oh, you're going old school with that. Okay.
Ring in the door.
Shit,
European final answer?
European.
European.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with white too. I just saw the final chapter, and it was a white man in there doing this,
They like that. Okay.
pulling his tooth out with a plier.
Florida.
Florida. T.
I'm gonna go with Miguel
Yep.
Sanchez.
Miguel Sanchez.
Miguel
I
Sanchez.
thought about that. Yeah.
Okay. TDP.
I'll go with Armenian for 200.
They're crafty people.
Crazy.
Everybody's locked in. All
Yeah.
right. The man who believed in do-it-yourself dental was a 49-year-old Latino man
Told
named
you.
Francisco Rojas.
Oh, Speedy.
Speedy won one.
101.
Wow.
Know how I knew?
Why?
Threw up.
Threw up.
He grew up.
Threw up.
How
Can't handle this liquor.
how do you know?
Latinos can't handle the liquor.
Yes, they can. They get drunk when they're pregnant. All
Wow.
right. This next story is from
That's for the medical model.
Sorry, my bad. We'll cover that on Thursday. Okay, this next story happened in California.
Okay.
A 31-year-old man who pretended to be a female prostitute before getting into a fight on the 101 freeway was arrested.
Louis Dix. Oh, I'm sorry. Another show. My bad.
Suckalata. A man agreed to pay a hooker who believed was a woman $60 for sexual acts. The prostitute agreed to the fee and then got into the John's 1986 silver Nissan.
86?
1986 BMW.
Still got that?
After doing the sex acts
With a
inside
kid
the
on it.
Nissan, the prostitute attempted to jack more than $60 from the trick while he was driving. The two men broke into a fight that eventually spilled out into the streets. The John had a taser stun gun and repeatedly used its device on the he-she hooker in an attempt to retrieve his cash.
Get my money.
While wearing women's clothing, eyeliner, and lipstick, the hooker fought back by beating the trick with a large rock. While the two men were fighting, witnesses called 911 and deputies arrived. Both men were arrested and booked into county jail.
Who you here with? Him?
The boy-girl hooker was charged with prostitution, and the John was charged with assault with a deadly weapon.
Yes.
Guess what races?
On both.
They're different.
Both of them.
Guess what races?
Here now.
So
White.
go for the John and the hooker.
White. I'm sticking to white.
White across the board.
I'm sticking to white.
White hooker, white John.
I'm sticking to white.
Okay, white folks.
White.
White folks do the darnest things. Okay, now POTUS.
I'm gonna say white trick,
White trick.
Asian prostitute.
White trick, Asian prostitute. They are small framed. They
Yeah.
can pass for women sometimes.
Okay.
All right.
That's
Speedy.
me.
I'm going to go for the hooker, DeAndre Johnson.
Okay, black man.
For the trick, Peter Brady.
Peter Brady. White trick, black hooker.
Gotcha.
Alrighty. TDP.
I'm going to go homo and sexual. Final answer.
All right, everybody's locked in.
Locked and loaded.
Of course, the trick was a white man named Brian Oster,
Thank you.
and the hooker was a Mexican named
Mexican.
Misael Ruiz.
Mexican.
Mexican.
They
Mexican.
also have small frames.
That's true. All right, next story.
Small what?
Frames.
That ain't what you said.
What did I say, Speedy?
But let's move on. You got
Okay.
a little attitude now. Let's move on. You
Okay,
ain't gonna slap shit out of me.
next story. A grandmother hit a flasher with her handbag and taunted him with the words, If you haven't got anything worth showing, then damn it, don't show it at all.
Black.
The 45-year-old was on her way to pick her granddaughter up from school when a man emerged from the bushes and exposed his penis to her. She told the jury, I was 2 or 3 feet away and I noticed his genitalia facing towards me. I wasn't. It was a shock. I swore to him. I said, what the fuck? Hell do you think you're doing, you dirty bastard? The grandmother said that after she told the man he had nothing worth showing, he swore at her and said, hey, it's good enough for me. Asked why she made that remark, and she said, I thought belittling him would make him cover up.
No pun intended.
I was so angry, my granddaughter could have been there. I was shocked, emotional, and angry. After swearing at him, she swung her handbag, hitting the flasher in the face. She went to the school where she rang the police. Guess what race?
The flasher or the grandmother?
The flasher.
Okay.
Flasher.
Little pickle. Okay.
Guess what race?
Oh, I thought you were
No, that's on you.
Dub C.
Oh,
Guess
okay.
what race?
you,
Who was a flasher that got bitch slapped by the grandmother?
The grandmother was she was European.
European final answer?
European, the grandmother European.
And the flasher?
And the flasher was
Little weenie.
probably was cold outside. Raining or something.
Raining.
You know, I'm gonna say he was Asian.
European and Asian.
Asians
Final
can't-
answer.
They can't shake that little penis stereotype, can they, huh? All right, final answer. POTUS.
I'm gonna say white.
White. Both of them? White across the board.
Yeah.
Okay. For obvious
Yeah.
reasons.
I'm definitely gonna say Granny was definitely white because she went and told. With no hesitation, just told.
But the way she was cussing kind of makes me think
Yeah,
she
she
was
does.
white.
Yeah.
She was a G.
And
Genital. What you say?
Yeah.
Genitalia.
Genitalia.
my man with the door stopper would have to be
Cigarette lighter.
the cigarette lighter. God damn. I'm gonna go Bruce Leroy.
Really? Okay.
Go Bruce Leroy.
Teeter.
I'll go Ecuadorian and Romanian. Final answer.
All right. Well, this happened over the pond. And the man who had a little potato for a penis was an Englishman, and so was a woman, English person. His name was Ryan Briggs, so they were white and they were from England.
I
Yeah.
got them
White
both
folk.
right.
Yes.
FC on
Yeah.
fire.
All
now.
right.
Dub C is
Bullshit.
killing. Okay.
You
Let's
must got a
see.
cheat pad
Oh.
over there. You got a cheat pad over there?
Is that 4 of them? Is
That's
that 3 or
4.
4?
4.
Oh, we got one more. Okay. All right. Beware if the mood has left your marriage. A judge has ruled that a 51-year-old man must pay his 47-year-old ex-wife damages for failing to fulfill her sexual needs for 21 years.
Get
The man
fuck
was
outta
ordered to pay his wife $13,965
That's some
to
bullshit.
compensate for a lack of sex over 21 years of marriage. There's a code that says married couples agree to share a communal life. He argued he was often tired and had health problems that prevented him from being sexually active with his ex. But the judge said a sexual relationship between husband and wife is the expression of affection they have for each other, and in this case, it was absent. The ruling comes 2 years after a judge said the man was solely responsible for the couple getting a divorce because of his refusal to have sex with his wife. Guess what race? Doesn't want to.
Somebody put Lou Dix.
Hysterical.
First of all,
13,000.
they ain't black.
No.
They ain't black. They ain't black.
Black girl would have just cheated.
They ain't, they ain't black. I gotta go with European.
European.
I gotta go
Any
with
specific country?
Both of them European.
You want to take a stab in the dark in any specific country over there?
Hell no. I'm sticking to my guns.
Just
European.
Europe,
Final
okay.
answer.
Yeah.
Okay. POTUS.
Portis.
I'll say Asian.
Damn, Asians can't get a break today.
Yeah, you done thrown them motherfuckers. I'm gonna go Ozzy and Harriet.
White?
Mhm.
Okay. You want to specify the kind of white?
Mm-mm.
Trying
They
to help
white.
you out there.
The fact that she sued, only
Come
white
on,
folks
man,
go, I'm
come
gonna
on.
sue my husband and get paid because he ain't fuck me.
And she got money too.
But nah, gold diggers, man. Sure.
Oh, that's a oh, my
You know what I'm
bad.
saying? I mean,
Okay, then let's go with
But it's $13,000 a lot for 21 years.
13 what?
Probably all he
for
got.
over
She
21
probably
years.
know how much he got in his account.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
TDP.
I'm gonna go South Korean.
South Korean. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'll go South Korean.
Everybody's
Final
locked
answer.
in. All right. The man who refused to give up the D was a 51-year-old Frenchman named
Wow.
Jean-Louis. Jean-Louis. You got it.
Hey,
Dub C is on
What
fire.
about her? They didn't say what she was.
She French too.
She
Yep.
French.
Wait a minute.
French folks.
What the hell? I
Right.
said Ozzy and Harriet.
Why?
Yeah.
I asked you specifically. He said European, and Europe, France is in Europe.
Mm.
I mean, you kind of got it technically, I guess.
Damn bitch.
Was that 5?
Yeah,
So
That's
we've
five.
spent another edition of
Guess
Guess
What
Race.
Race?